Hey there, TLC Tribe. It's Veronica Jones here. And today, my special guest is the founder of Lila and Pearl at Home. And she's the wonderful Jackie. And Jackie's joy. Hello, lovely to have you here. Jackie's joining us today. She's going to share her story with us. And Jackie came to me when her business was just a twinkle in her eye, but she had a burning desire in the heart to get this thing going. And she'd never been in e-commerce before. This was new territory for her. And she decided to partner with me in the form of business coaching. And I've had the absolute pleasure of working alongside Jackie and watching her business not only launch, but grow and have sales. And it's just been a wonderful journey. So I'm so pleased to have Jackie here with us today. And Jackie, let me throw to you now and welcome you officially. Thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I'm good, and thank you for having me.
No, you're most welcome. So Jackie, I want to get straight into it with you today. And I wondered if you could start off by just filling us in how you found yourself stepping into this journey of coaching.
Sure. I had a role that was finishing up, and I thought this is so daunting to then go out and work for someone else, especially as I'm over 50. And I thought about setting up some sort of form of e-commerce business in the future, but a little further down the track. And I thought, well, why not do it now? Because I had the capital and I had the business admin background, and it just felt right. So I did.
You sure did. And I know that you and I can speak very frankly together. And I think for a lot of people who are maybe at that, let's call it the midway point of the career, who might think, well, look, okay, I'm going to do this business, so I might engage a coach because I've not been in this field before. And they might have thoughts about, will coaching work for me? Is this going to actually do what I want it to do? So I wondered if you had any initial hesitations when you were thinking about engaging a coach.
Well, yeah, because I hadn't done it before. So I feared that clinical approach or being under the microscope. And then, of course, setting up a new business on your own, I sort of felt, well, how am I going to find time for it? How am I going to fit it in? But I think mostly the biggest hesitation I had was I didn't want to appear that I needed help.
Right.
And I did.
Yeah, and thank you for being so open and so vulnerable with that response too, because sometimes just that acknowledgement of saying, hey, yeah, I think I need some help here, can feel like we're on shaky ground. And yet often it's when we put up for our hand for help, which is indeed placing us in a position of strength. And I'm so glad you did, of course, because we got to work together.
I know.
And so for you, what was it then that helped you kind of overcome those hesitations?
I realized early on in forming the idea of the business that, I needed, I needed to back myself, and I needed someone to back me. I guess that was probably the first biggest thing that I felt had to happen. Not that I didn't back myself, but I really needed a bit more encouragement and someone to say, you've got this. And then I needed to be, accountable, and to be able to set some structure and goals. And at the same time, I hadn't run a business before. So, I'd helped people run businesses. So I needed assistance in developing that. So all of those hesitations, when I started the coaching with you, and I realized it actually wasn't clinical, sort of things started to just fall into place there.
Yes, great.
And I was backing myself.
You sure were. I watched that every week. You went all in. On that note then, what kind of changes did you see yourself experiencing, and certainly the business experiencing through your journey of coaching?
Well, I got confident, or more confident, more assertive, and then I started getting structure. So that thing of what I'm doing at night before I go to bed, structure what I'm doing in the morning, and how I'm planning or thinking. It all comes into the structure. So I guess the goal setting and the intentions. I mean, when you're working for someone else, you don't really think about having to do those things so much. And from there, I was doing actions. I mean, the business structure was formed. I had all these people I had to contact, and in order to form the company, because I thought, I'm not going to just set up a business. I want to set up a company. I'm over 50. This has got to run the course. So all of that just started coming together. And of course the technical side of it was teaching myself how to build a website. I mean, that's crazy.
I know you jumped on board with all of that, and it was incredible to watch. Thinking about that, then, you're someone who's never worked in the e-commerce space before. You were there going to teach yourself how to build a website, launch a business. For a lot of people who are maybe at a turning point in their career, and they're thinking, I'd like to launch a business, but could I do it? Will it work? What happens if it doesn't work? There are a lot of those kind of thoughts and feelings that can come up when you're launching something new. And so from your experience, no doubt having those kind of thoughts as anyone would when they're starting something new, the what ifs, how did you find those thoughts shifting as you were moving through coaching?
Well, firstly, I had a vision that the business would work, and I also had vision that I needed the coaching to help me do that. But I also had 30 plus years of business experience, and that's a lot of skills to dissect and lay out on the table. And when I did that, I realized I've actually got pretty much all the skills I need to start a business. And no, I didn't have a background in e-commerce. I probably do now, but putting everything together and just, learning a few more different skills professionally or personally, just got me through any initial concerns I had.
Great. And I think the other really valid point that you raised there as well is all those skills that you accumulated over the course of your career, which was so beneficial. And potentially for someone who's thinking about launching a business in a field that they've never been in before, they might worry, well, I haven't got the e-commerce skills. And it's just that little aha moment to realize, hang on, we've got a whole lifetime of career here in terms of...
I think we've got more skills than we think we do.
Yes,
really?
Absolutely. Yep. And you find those, no doubt, get teased out of you more and more when you go down this path of entrepreneurship, don't you?
Yeah.
Those resources.
You either pull them out yourself or someone pulls them out.
That's it, exactly. And look, you mentioned their age, and I think this is an important thing to address, because often, people can think, I'm too young or I'm too old to do this. And you mentioned their, being over the age of 50. And again, people might have hesitations at that point in life, thinking, well, is this the right time in life for me to be doing this now? Again, the what ifs. How did you address those kind of thoughts as you were, again, moving along through this journey and through coaching?
Yeah, I kind of flipped it on its head a bit. I thought, well, maybe 50's too old to start a business, but is 50 too old to work for someone else when you've always wanted to start your own business? So, yeah, I mean, and the coaching helped me, really helped me figure that out. I think over 50 is probably the perfect time to do it. And going back to the skills, if you've got 30 plus years of skills, whether you're qualified or not qualified, or you've just got hands-on experience, or you just love learning, maybe 50 is the best time to start, because you're really well armed to do it. Maybe more so than could step on a few toes here than if you've just come out of university or something. But for me, I think this is exactly the right time. Feels like the right time.
Great, really great to hear. And if we think about it too, I think there's so much evidence out there of people who've been very successful in business who've started later on in their career. J.K. Rowling on what would be a rocky relationship that she was coming out of, a very shy lady who was even too shy at times to ask for a pen when she was traveling on the train and forgot the story that she was trying to remember. That's it. Was still, obviously created the fabulous empire that she did. And with Harry Potter, it's absolutely never too late. And there's evidence all around us to support us when we're having those doubts.
That's so true.
And certainly the reframing, as you talked about in terms of mindset, and we do when we were coaching, that's a really powerful tool to equip us to move forward when we're on our journey in entrepreneurship. And on that note, let's talk about this. So you're going through coaching, you're going through the process, we're setting goals, we're setting targets. What did you start to see happen in terms of results for the business and getting those goals and those different milestones that we had along the way?
Oh, I was going for it, wasn't I? Changes, maybe it goes back to, things you think you can do, you just don't do because maybe you don't think you can, but really you can. So we all know how to research a market. We all know how to look at products. We all know how to look at audiences. And basically, we all know how to run a house, and we've all worked in various jobs before. So, I researched markets, products and audiences. I set up a company structure, got the terms and policies arranged with help, retained remote teams, marketing, accounting, legal, and of course coaching. And I worked really hard on acquiring new skills and learning all the marketing, and they're all changes that came about instantly from doing the coaching. Because if I didn't have the coaching, I wouldn't have, I guess, known where to step and when to step and when to set these things up, if that makes sense.
That's it. It's likely you always knew. I just shone the light, so we eliminated that pathway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And also, you mentioned that getting yourself a team and other people that you're working with, which is great. And so that's also, I think, something really poignant to chat about in this piece for anyone who's considering a business, that we don't have to do everything on our own.
No, and you don't. It's not, and it's also not a matter of you need a team, so you've got to employ people. I'm doing this on my own, and I've got an orange dog and a husband. And occasionally the husband needs to help, because sometimes the orders are just a bit too much for me in one day. But in terms of the team, this day and age, look at how many of us are working virtually. I've worked virtually and globally and from home for I can't remember how many years, probably the best part of the last 25 years. I've either been in an office or at home. So we've got all of these professionals around us in marketing, accounting, legal, that do that type of working as well. So this, I think, makes it the most affordable part of setting up a business, because you're just paying professionals for their time. So you might find a professional that charges $50 an hour, $80 an hour, or $180 an hour. You're only paying that. It's not a team that you're bringing in at this such an early stage of the business, and we're only six months in, so it's going to take us quite a while to turn a profit. So you can't afford to be paying a team or retaining staff. So the way we all work remotely, and we're all getting so much more used to it, especially coming through the last few years of COVID, it can be done. I mean, don't think, oh my God, I've got to get all of these people on board, and you've got to pay people, but you're not putting them on your payroll. And I think that's, for anyone starting a business, that's probably a really, really important thing to remember and really research. I did, and it's working.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had the conversation that rather than thinking how do I do this?
Yeah.
Think who?
Yeah.
Who can assist me? Who can I reach out to? Who can I, connect with? And like you say, we've got this global platform now to be able to contact so many different skilled people.
Yeah, and as you and I know, I mean, the resources are available globally. I mean, we might be operating in a business in Australia, but I can have an expert, on the other side of the world.
Yes, I know, it's powerful stuff, very powerful,
isn't it?
It really is. So for you, as you're moving along this coaching journey then, and we were hitting all these milestones, and for anyone who's listening, just the incredible success that Jackie had in terms of coaching with me, and what is it, a relatively short span of time, 8 sessions, to have a twinkle in the eye of a business, to then go, we're launched, we're live, we're selling product. That's massive. She committed big time. So I was wondering, from your perspective, Jackie, then what did you feel was, a bit of an aha moment for you in coaching, or even a standout moment for you?
Oh, it's got to be the visualizations. I mean, I'm a pretty visual person. If I have an idea, I can usually see it, and I know that's not for everyone. But for me, I see something very, very clearly. And the coaching with you, I guess because I was able to do that, doing the visualizations, I think helped immensely, because it's kind of like you can see into the future, because you've got, you've developed this toolkit, this personal toolkit, to be able to set these goals and intentions and to make things work. And if you don't have a goal, you can't see the future. Like, if you're going to build a house, your goal is to build the house. So you need that goal to be able to see what it's going to look like in the future. So the visualizations with you and the work we've done around me seeing the future of my business, I sit here right now and I can see it. I'm not, my eyes are open looking at something else. It's the pictures in here, and it's very clear. So it's been the best thing.
Fantastic. And sure is a powerful thing, the visualization piece. Certainly when our brain can visualize so vividly like that, the research has shown that it finds it hard to differentiate between reality and what you visualize. And that's why visualization becomes so powerful, because it becomes so real for you. Yeah. And certainly you're a strong testament to the fact that it works, because you brought that business to life, baby. Yep. And so you're on the other side of coaching now. You walked this journey with me. You've been kicking goals along the way. Tell me, how does it feel to be on the other side of coaching now?
Feels great. Feels brilliant. I feel like I've got, the tool belt on, and I'm gonna pick out the tools I need and use them, and I'm set. I mean, I'm still gonna need you. I'm not going anywhere. I've still got a long, long way to go. I mean, starting a business, especially when you put your own capital into it, I mean, that's, this is going to take a couple of years to get it going, but it's got momentum, and it's got a business model that works, and I see results, and it feels good, and it feels natural and organic, and couldn't ask for more.
That's beautiful.
I'm going to keep up the good work.
You do.
It's nothing without me putting the work in, let me tell you that.
Yeah. Now, if you were to reflect on this journey that you've been through with coaching and the evolution of your business from the twinkle in the eye to something that's real, think about your personal growth and who you've become in that process. Reflecting on that then, what do you like most about who you've become in this process?
I think I like my courage and my confidence. I mean, I believed it. I believed in myself, and probably just needed a bit more of a kick in the rear to get the courage and confidence. But I have that, and I really like that, because that goes a long way in all aspects of life, I think.
Absolutely.
And I've got the tools to apply to anything. So, I like it.
I'm glad you like it, and I like it on you. You wear it well.
Thanks.
So, Jackie, on that note then, talking about your confidence and, how that had changed it through the coaching process, how did you find your new level of confidence was impacting things positively with your partner, with your business, with your, with your contractors? And I think you've accidentally gone on self-mute now. If you wanted to get off self-mute, there you go. So fill us in.
Oh, look, I think my own self-belief, I think, even in the early days, I think my husband sort of struggled with what I was doing, or he didn't sort of see it as I saw it. So the more I was building it, the more I was believing it, and going through the coaching, the more skills I was getting. So I think, the impact it had on him was that, okay, he's really starting to see it now, and he's really starting to believe it. And then as orders come in, he's like, oh yeah, okay, well, yeah, maybe she's onto something. So for me, that's positive. So yeah.
Great. I love it. And that's an interesting point too, because as entrepreneurs, we often have vision about how the business is going to run, how it's going to look. And we hope that others can maybe see what we see. And yet the reality is, if we were to give them our lenses and they were to put those glasses on, they'd have trouble seeing through it. So why would they see the vision that we can see? And certainly, it's often when they start noticing those little pieces of evidence, like your husband has, that they're like, okay, she's actually doing this.
Yeah.
So if you were to now think about, our viewers and listeners here today who might be thinking about starting a business and wondering if they're at that point in life where maybe it is perhaps later in their career and they're wondering, can I do it? What advice would you have to them about starting off a business?
Well, I think it goes back to what we were saying before. I mean, when is too late? When is too early? I mean, just deconstruct all the skills you've learned over life. I mean, maybe your 50s, maybe you're in your 30s. I mean, we've probably got more skills and knowledge than we think. And it's also it's okay to ask for help and support. It's one thing to say, oh yes, I'm going to do this. It's another thing to be able to go and do it. You've got to get on that first step. Be it coaching or more learning, more education, business and personally. I don't think I haven't been doing it long, so I can't speak from great length of experience, but from everything I've learned so far in my life and being in my 50s now, I couldn't think of a better time to do it. And I couldn't think of a better time for me to be ready to do it.
Yeah, awesome.
And I also couldn't think of a more scarier thing to do, so.
Yes, true. And so the message is, carpe diem, seize the day and embrace the fear and roll with it.
And visualize.
Absolutely. Great stuff. And what about for anyone who is thinking of partnering with a coach? What advice might you have for them?
Oh God, it's so valuable. Yeah, I mean, like again, what we were saying before. Yeah, it's a little bit scary because you think, oh, you know, is it going to be clinical or so on? But you're really working together. You know, it's not like, you know, sitting on the or lying on the couch and getting hypnotized and all of that, because that's not what it is. It's development. It's personal and professional development, and I think it's necessary. You know, like a tennis player has a coach. Well, how would they get to where they are without somebody, you know, backing them, coaching them through, realigning them, you know? So it works. It's totally okay to ask for that support.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And I know for a lot of people, it's they wonder, will we get the result? Will this actually do what it's supposed to do? Is it, like you say, is it clinical, or are we sitting on a couch, you know, going into the past? Coaching's very practical. We get
like I said before as well. I mean, I wondered, oh God, how much time is this going to take? Because, you know, I'm really busy. I've got to do this and I've got to do that, and but I couldn't have gotten to that busy phase without giving the time to coaching. And really, it wasn't that much once you get into it, because it's so enjoyable and it's so personally beneficial. I actually really look forward to our chats. I still do.
Me too. Thank you. So tell me now, and please share with our viewers how they can have a little look at your business and how they can get involved with what you're doing. So I'll let you fill us in on that one.
Yeah, well, Lila and Pearl at Home it's an e-commerce store. So we focus at this stage on, you know, products for home, you know, like homewares, products for lifestyle, and we have some range of clothing in there as well. So at the moment we stock I stock other people's brands. Certainly down the line we sort of want to get some more exclusive brands in there of just Lila and Pearl at Home. And the big thing for us is that, you know, we're actually also reaching a lot of people who are regional. So and, you know, there's a lot of shops that have closed down, you know, over the last few years. So we got a lot more of e-commerce businesses like this popping up. So hopefully ours is a little different. And you can head on over and have a look. It's www.lilaandpearlathome.com.
Nice. All right, take note, everyone. You've heard it here first. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience and your journey with all of us today, Jackie. It's been really wonderful to have you. And
thank you.
For everyone who's tuning in and thinking about a career move, maybe in, you know, the what we classified as a later part of your career, know that there's evidence all around you to suggest you can not only do this, you can smash this out of the park, as Jackie has done. And as Jackie said in her message, carpe diem, seize the day, embrace the fear.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone who's joined us today. And if you're looking to level up your career, start a new business, want to enhance your relationships, please do get in touch with us at thelifecoachingco.com.au. Or of course, you can head to Facebook, which is facebook.com/thelifecoachingco, or find us on Instagram at thelifecoachingco. So once again, thank you so much for everyone for joining us. That is a wrap. And remember, master your mindset, secure your success.